So anyway, welcome to the third and final workshop this week. Today we're going to focus mostly on sentence stress. In the first and second workshops we focus mostly on connected speech and a little bit of ellipsis, so removing some sounds. I didn't explain why we remove certain sounds, but I kind of touched on the topic. I just didn't go in detail. So if you want to go and watch them, I'll link them in the description. For now, today we're going to focus on sentence stress. So before we get started with that though, as I've done with the other workshops, I want to introduce myself. So I'm sorry for the people who have seen the last two workshops and this is their third one. It will be a bit repetitive, but on the plus side, I did correct my typo this time. So I'm not an English teacher, I'm an English one. So, hello, my name is Emma. I am originally from York, which is a city in the north of England. Please let me know in the chat if any of you have ever been to York. It is not to be confused with New York. It is York in the UK, not in the United States. In terms of my education, I have a BA Honours in English Language and Linguistics. During my degree, I also studied abroad in Spain, and that's why I'm able to speak some Spanish. I also learnt Catalan while I was abroad there as well, because I studied in Catalonia. My master's degree was in education, TESOL in education, which stands for Teaching English to Speakers of Other Languages. I'm also a Cambridge CELTA qualified English teacher. I had some people also asking me questions about the CELTA yesterday after the previous live stream and saying, what was it like doing the CELTA? Can you tell me? And it was horrible. It was the worst thing I've ever done. It's incredibly intensive, but I learned so much. It was well worth it. And I was very lucky. I was chosen, I think there were like 10 people in total. And I was chosen as one of these 10 people by the British Council. I don't know if you know the British Council, but they're quite famous for their language schools and accrediting language schools. And I was chosen by the British Council as one of the final 10 people to go to their headquarters in London. And they did like some kind of workshops and things there. And they basically chose teachers who they believed would, what was it? It was something like who have the potential to be good teachers in the future sort of thing. Like good future teachers. They weren't just doing CELTA to like spend the summer in Spain and go back to England and that's it and never teach again. Like they really helped young teachers to take the CELTA qualification. So yeah, I got to go to the headquarters in London as well. It wasn't as magical as people might think, but yeah, it was a bit intimidating being surrounded by these teachers who'd been teaching for longer than I'd been born. But yeah, I've been teaching also for 13 years, which is crazy. I started when I was 16 years old. I started teaching teenagers. And I didn't start teaching English when I was 16. I started teaching, technically I did, but it wasn't English as a foreign language. I started teaching English, like reading and literacy skills to teenagers with, with dyslexia. So yes, I tried to help them and we read together and played board games and stuff. It was good fun. But yeah, in terms of online stuff that I do, I have an online following of over 500,000 people. And in my free time, I really enjoy learning different languages because, as I always say, I strongly believe that if you want to be a language teacher, you also need to know how to be a language student. So right now, I'm learning Spanish and Japanese. I've been learning Spanish for about 9 years. It's a very long time actually. And Japanese I started just in January. But as I said, this year I want to start with Korean and I might have to return back to Catalan because I'll be moving to Catalonia this year. So Yes, a lot of languages this year. I also enjoy cooking, climbing, and gaming in my free time. So if any of you are into gaming as well, I do have a Twitch channel. And if you're interested, just send me a message on Instagram or something, and I can send you the link for that. But yes, that's that. So, why is pronunciation important? Well, firstly, it helps you become a better communicator. People understand you better, your confidence grows, and people understand you and take you more seriously, meaning that mispronunciations and mistakes can be very distracting. And as well, your listening comprehension greatly improves when you start learning things like connected speech and stress and how words and sentences are squished together when we speak. Then it will really help you with your listening comprehension, particularly with native English speakers. So I would like to ask the chat a question, as I have done in the past 2 live streams. Do you know what sentence stress is? So I've got a scale, and again, I would like you in the chat to tell me 1, I don't know anything, 2, I know a bit, or 3, I know it and use it all the time. So tell me in the chat, what do you think? It would be very interesting to know, because by the end of this lesson, it will become a lot clearer, hopefully. Please also don't spam the chat. I know some people get really excited in live streams, but yeah, don't spam the chat because it's really annoying. Glad she was a Spanish accent, yeah. Yeah, people ask me what's my favorite Spanish accent, and for me it's Uruguayan and Argentinian. But maybe I'm slightly biased because my boyfriend's family is from Uruguay. But their accents are so nice. It's so soft to my ear. I know you love Age of Empires too. I do, Rodrigo. Yeah. And I'm saying your name the English way. I know you said last live stream that it was a Rodrigo. Is it Rodrigo? Is it Rodrigo? No, it's Rodrigo, right? In Portuguese. I'm losing my Portuguese already. It's terrible. I know it, but I can't use it. We've got lots of 1.5s today. A lot of people are not as confident this time. Let me also just shrink down my face. I'll put my face there. Then you can see the text at the bottom here. But I mean, you all got it anyway. You got the request. Quite confident, but there's always room for improvement. As I always say, always, Anissa. Yep. Rodrigo. Yeah, I thought it was Rodrigo. Did we have any questions earlier as well? People asked what my New Year's resolutions were, but I answered that earlier in the chat. So you can just watch the replay or scrub back in the video and take a look. Most of the people are from Argentina. Actually, I'm not sure. I'm not sure at all. I don't know if I can check. Oh, I can't check. That's really annoying. I can see how many people are watching and how long you're watching for, but I can't see where people are from. I see. Okay, so the majority of people are like a 1.5, which is really interesting. What's in your course? What I'm going to teach today. I will talk more about it in a moment, and I'll talk to you as well and tell you how you can get some free lessons and a free trial in a moment. So stick around, or if you don't want to stick around, in the description of this video there is a link where you can sign up to my mailing list, and I will send you some free lessons there and a free trial, so you can do that. But if not, we'll carry on with the lesson, and then you can check out the link later. So yes, by the end of today's workshop, 2 things are going to happen. You will understand the rules for sentence stress and start using it in your own speech. And you will have practice reading and analysing a story and feel more confident about your pronunciation. So in the last 2 workshops, we read The Hare and the Tortoise. And today we're going to read a different story. I've mixed it up a little bit. But if you're interested in improving your pronunciation with stories, I have more stories on the course. More stories are also going to be added in January. So if you take a look at the course and you see the syllabus and you think, oh, I want more stories. In January, there's going to be a big update. I'm putting December's and January's updates together because I was quite ill in December. I mean, it's still December, but earlier in December, I was quite ill and I wasn't able to finish some of the units on time and stuff. And I thought, you know what? I'll just do a big update for 2022. So there'll be more stories added to the course. So let's start. We're going to first start talking about, let me also just put my face down here. Let's start firstly with stress and what it is. I will be taking examples that I have used before, so if you find this a little bit repetitive, then no worries. It's probably because you've seen it before, but if you're brand new, then welcome, fantastic. It means you're going to learn something completely new. So when it comes to stress in English, particularly sentence stress, there are certain rules that we follow and certain words that we stress. Okay, and what happens is we have these certain words that are stressed more, our intonation goes up on these words, and all the words in between these stressed important words are weakened and said a lot softer, right? Now, there are different types of sentence stress depending on the language. Here I've got 3 different ones: syllable timed, stress timed, and mora timed. I'm very interested to know, whether you know this already, what timed language is English? Is English a syllable, a stress, or a mora timed language? What do you think? What do you think? Ooh, there are arguments breaking out in the chat. Yeah, don't start arguments in the chat. Uruguay Spanish sounds sexy. Yeah, it's a country. It's a country in South America. Yeah. It's very famous for its beef, apparently. Yeah, we've got mora timing, stress timing, and syllable timing. Which one do you think English is? So do you think English is a syllable timed language? Is English a stress timed language? Or is English a mora timed language? We've got stress timed, mostly stress timed. A few people said syllable, 1 or 2 people said syllable. People are asking what mora timing is. I will talk about that in a moment. You only need to be concerned about mora timing if you are a Japanese speaker. Don't worry. If you're not a Japanese speaker, then forget it. It's not important to you. No doubt, a lot of people here probably speak a syllable time language as their first as their first language. Heard about syllable and stress, but what's mora? Don't worry, I'll talk about it. English is stress, Spanish is syllable, and Japanese is mora. Yes, Atsuko! Ah! Very smart. So, yes. As Atsuko said, syllable time languages are ones like Spanish, Italian, and French. Some stress time languages, English is there. Not Japanese, German, Russian, and European Portuguese. Brazilian Portuguese is a bit of a weird one because a while ago when I was learning Portuguese, I focused mostly on Brazilian Portuguese. And I was looking at the type of sentence stress it had, and it was supposedly like a mixture, depending on the accent in Brazilian Portuguese. But it's mostly considered syllable timed, apparently, while European Portuguese is more stress timed, which is super interesting from a linguistic perspective. I found that really interesting. And a mora time language is one like Japanese. So for people asking what a mora timed language is, what mora timing is, it's essentially like, it's kind of hard to explain if you don't know Japanese. Japanese speakers will be like, yeah, got it, I understand. But the way that Japanese words are formed are not in syllables. They are formed in mora, which are to put it in the simplest way for you, it's essentially units of sound, like blocks of sound or sounds. So it could, for example, contain only a vowel sound, or it could contain a consonant and a vowel, and that is considered a mora. So an example I like to give is like how to say hello in Japanese. Yeah, we say like this. Okay, I don't have the right keyboard for it, so I'll write it in Romaji. But if anyone has a Japanese keyboard, please write konnichiwa in kana, please, or in hiragana. So yes, we've got konnichiwa. If I were to say konnichiwa with syllables like English, Spanish, Italian, etc. have, it would be konnichiwa. It would have 4 syllables, right? Konnichiwa. However, when it comes to a maritime language, it would actually be konnichiwa. Thank you, Atsuko. Yeah. Konnichiwa. So it's more like units of speech, units of sound rather than speech, yeah? Units of sound, which usually are comprised of a vowel and a consonant and a vowel. When it comes to Japanese, you also have the n sound. I don't have the symbol, but it is this one here. I'll just copy it from the chat. This one. So this is like the only consonant sound in Japanese where it is considered as a single mora, yeah? Konnichiwa. But in normal syllables like English, let's say konnichiwa. So it's completely different. If you don't speak Japanese, don't even worry about this. Only worry about it if you're a Japanese speaker. All right. Otherwise, you've got syllable time languages. So many of you are probably syllable timed language speakers. And this essentially means that you give each syllable the same amount of time when you say it. So I always describe this as kind of being like a machine gun. So when you speak, it's like da 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 da. Like every syllable has exactly the same amount of time. Yeah, syllable timed. Spanish, Italian, French, right? Like everything is da 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 da. While a stress time language like English works differently in the sense that you have your normal sentence, okay? And then you have certain words that are more prominent and they're given more time because you put stress on these words. So if you have a sentence, this word's important, this one isn't, this one isn't, this one is, okay? Then the 2 words which are not important are unstressed and they are said weaker and quicker, and quite often they are squished together, joined together, and they almost sound like one word. So let me know in the chat when you listen to particularly native speakers, okay? Let me know in the chat how tricky is it to understand them, or how easy is it for you to understand them? If we put it on a scale, if we say 1 is like, I don't understand anything that native speakers say, which no one should write a 1, because if you are watching this and you understand me and you can answer the question, then it can't be a 1. But if you say 10, like, yes, I understand native speakers completely, I understand them, no problems at all. But let's say let's put you at like a 5 or a 6. If you can understand certain strong, prominent words, but those little words in between, you really struggle with understanding, right? I'll give you a good situation that many of you might have been in. Imagine you're watching something on Netflix, right? Many of us probably have Netflix. So if you're watching something on Netflix, you think, I'm going to turn off the subtitles. I'm going to turn off the subtitles and listen and try and improve my listening, right? So you turn off the subtitles, but then you realize, holy crap, I don't understand anything. They're talking way too fast, which they probably aren't. They're probably talking normal speed. Like the way I'm talking now is normal speed. It's not fast. If I were talking like this, then it would be really fast. Yeah. But I'm actually talking a normal speed, yeah? And then you put the subtitles back on, and then you're like, oh, but hold on, I understand everything they said. With the subtitles, I understand every single word. So the problem is not the grammar. The problem isn't vocabulary. So what's the problem? This is the problem. This here. This is the problem. And it's because you've got those certain important words, and then those little words in between are all squished. Yeah, and they become really hard to understand sometimes, even for native speakers. True Italian sounds like a robot. Yeah, it can do. Sometimes it sounds a bit mean to say it sounds robotic, but syllable time languages often do sound quite robotic because it's like this da 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 da, like machine-like way of pronouncing the syllables or producing the syllables. Let's see. No, we aren't learning Japanese now. It's because people asked about Mora timing. And if you're on another tab, then that means you're not focusing on this stream. So you need to focus, and then you won't get confused. When people think English native speakers sound fast, they use connected speech. Exactly, but we don't. English, actually, you know what? Maybe I can show you. It'd be a bit of a pain to set up, but there is a chart where you can see a number of different languages and the speeds at which the languages are. So there are two ways of counting it in these charts. There is the number of syllables per second, and English falls very, very low down. Japanese and Spanish are right at the top. The fastest is Japanese, the second is Spanish, and then it goes down, 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 and then English is right at the bottom. I think English only just overtakes German, but not by much. And then you've also got the amount of information that's conveyed per, I can't remember if it's per syllable or per second, but English is quite high in that regard. So we speak slower, but actually per second we can transmit more information than other languages. It's so weird. It's much more difficult to understand American native speakers. I agree and disagree at the same time. I think it completely depends on the variants that you're used to. So for me, I understand American English absolutely fine, and it's absolutely nothing to do with me being native. It's simply just because I grew up with a lot of American TV, American children's cartoons, things like that. But let's say, for example, you asked me to listen to, I don't know, a very strong Southern Irish accent. I'm not as exposed to Southern Irish accents, so sometimes I find it a little bit trickier to follow. Like, for example, I'm from Yorkshire originally, and for me, of course, it's my accent. I understand people from Yorkshire absolutely fine, but when I was at university in Yorkshire, there were people, like other students studying with me, who really struggled with the Yorkshire accent, and they were native speakers from the south of England. So it's not necessarily because you're native or non-native, it's simply because you're not exposed to that accent enough. So I always encourage people, like, learn different accents, expose yourself as much as you can. If you can watch a movie without subtitles and you understand, then your language is perfect. I would say it's impressive. Yeah, it's definitely impressive. But then I try my favourite TV series. Yeah, I understand, Alberto. I'm the same. Like with Spanish, I listen to my boyfriend. I'm like, I understand every word. And then I'll put on like Casa de Papel and I'm like, what? They just don't articulate in that show. It's frustrating. Scottish accent sounds like a machine gun. Interesting observation. What accent do I have? My accent is a bit of a mix. I'm a bit of a mixed bag. But my so I focus mostly on teaching modern received pronunciation, but there are some parts of my accent which are definitely more northern. So for example, I don't say path, grass, bath. I say path, grass, bath. But pretty much everything else I say is modern RP. Though sometimes my Yorkshireness slips through. Yes. Very good. Okay, so people are quite confident with that. Let me show you an example of what I mean with sentence stress, with some actual real life examples. I'm going to move myself up here to give us some space, and then you can see the text. So if we just focus on the first section here, I'd like you to listen and repeat. All right, so make sure you're in an environment where you can listen and repeat. So we have drink water. Drink water. Now the second one. Listen to what I do. Drink some water. Drink some water. Drink some water. And then the last one. Drink some of the water. Drink some of the water. Drink some of the water. So, notice something. I am not clapping on every single word in the second and third sentences. Yeah? I clap on drink and water. Why is that? Because drink and water are important words. Okay? I'm going to talk more about which words are considered important and not important in a moment. But here, drink and water are important. Right? Drink, water. So we stress them. Drink some water. Now, if I spoke a syllable-timed language like Spanish, okay, let's imagine we are speaking English, but with like a Spanish kind of syllable-timed elements to it. Sentence 2 would sound like drink some water, drink some water, drink some water. It's really strong, right? But because it's English, let me also just grab the comments here and move that across a little bit. There we are. So here, instead of saying some, which, can I make that a bit thicker? Ooh, nice. Okay. So, if it was strong, like drink some water, drink some water, then I would use the sound. It would be strong. However, we are speaking English, yeah? And English is, as we know, a stress-timed language, okay? So, we're going to weaken this to a schwa. Drink some. Not some, with a schwa. Drink some water. Drink some water. Same here. I don't say, drink some of the water. Yeah? Drink some of the water. It sounds very, very robotic. And it's quite hard to say. It's quite like a workout on the mouth if you do it like that. So, notice what I do. Drink some of the water. Some. And remember, last lesson, we looked at connected speech in the previous workshop. If you haven't seen it, it's linked in the description. It is part 2, okay? We're going to take this we're going to move it over here to the start of the next word. It's a terrible arrow. Try again. So it's summer. So it sounds like the word summer. Like, you know, spring, summer, autumn, winter. Yeah? Summer. Here, we're going to remove this. All right? When it comes to some of the words that are not considered important, we can cut some of the sounds in them. Of, its strong form would be of. Okay, strong form. Don't worry if you're not familiar with strong and weak forms yet, because you will be by the end of today's workshop. You will know exactly what strong and weak forms are. Of is the strong form. Of is the weak form. And now you're thinking, but hold on, Emma, you said Yes, that's also another weak form. So this one here with some other, tends to come when the next word starts with a consonant sound. I'll put that like that. Yeah. It's usually when the next word starts with a consonant sound. So some of the. So this sound here, of course, is a consonant sound. The. Yeah. Some of the. We can cut it because of is not considered important. Some of the. Drink some of the water. So you can see how sentence stress, not word stress, how sentence stress works. Now, if you're thinking, which words do we stress and which ones don't we stress? I will show you now. I'm going to put myself down here. So we can divide words in English into two categories, our content words and our function words. Our content words carry the meaning. So going back up here, drink water, okay? If I say to you, drink water, you know I want you to drink water, right? No questions asked, nothing is ambiguous, you know what I want. But if I remove drink and water and I just say some of the, you'll be like, some of the what? Or let's imagine I remove some and I say drink of the water. Yeah, it's weird. It's not correct. It's a very weird sentence. But the key elements are there. Drink water. You know I want that to happen. The same if I remove the article or if I removed of. If I say drink drink some of the water, you'll be like, that's weird. Sounds weird. Not grammatically correct, but okay, I will drink water. Right? You understand? So these little words here are not important. So they're always stressed, meaning no matter where they are in a sentence, no matter what context, they will always be stressed and there will only be one form in the dictionary of them unless they have alternative pronunciations, but the stress doesn't change. And these tend to be verbs, adjectives, adverbs, nouns, negative modals, and negative auxiliary verbs, right? So they're all your really important content-carrying words. Your function words, on the other hand, are the ones that are not as important. So exactly what I explained here with some of the, yeah? Some of the water. I can remove those words and nothing has changed, yeah? But if I remove water and I say, drink some of the, you'd be like, drink some of the what, Emma? Okay? Because it's important, right? It's an important word. With function words, we have strong and weak forms. So as I mentioned here with of, you've got the strong form here. Let me move myself again. So with of, strong form of here, right? Of is a weak form. Is a weak form. Sometimes words have more than one weak form, yeah? The, so we've got the, which is a strong form, yeah? But you've also got the, which is sometimes used, and then you've got the water, yeah? The water. Some, as I said, the strong form would be with this vowel, some, some, and some. So this one, my jaw drops more, yeah? Some. Drink some, yeah? It's very fast and very weak. So two forms there, strong and weak. These tend to be pronouns, the verb to be. So even if the verb to be is used as like a main verb in a sentence, like they are happy, let's say, it would still be weak, like they are, instead of they are happy. They are happy. Prepositions, articles, connectives, modal verbs, and auxiliary verbs. So notice this is super important. You've got negative modal verbs, and then you've got modal verbs here. So modal verbs like normal modal verbs, that's a tongue twister. Normal modal verbs are considered just function words, so they tend to have a weak form as well as a strong one. But your negative modal verbs, for example, shouldn't, couldn't, don't, etc., they only have a strong form, all right? Negative auxiliary verbs as well, and auxiliary verbs, same rule applies. right? So your modal verbs and auxiliary verbs. So your auxiliary verbs in English are have, do, and be. Okay? So if these are used as an auxiliary verb, like, for example, I have been to Spain, yeah, I wouldn't say I have been to Spain. I would say I have been. Yeah, I have been to Spain. I have been to Spain. So the been would be stressed because been is the verb, the main verb, the important bit. Yeah, but the modal verb, the have, sorry, put that in the, sorry, the auxiliary verb, what am I talking about? The auxiliary verb have is not important. Yeah. So that's that. Let's have a practice with a text together, unless anyone has any questions. So today we are going to have a look at another text. This one is The Goose and the Golden Egg. Let me talk about any questions firstly, though. It's like a cup of tea. Exactly, yeah. So we don't say a cup of tea. I'd like a cup of tea. You'd say, I like a cup of tea. And this is why it also gets shortened down to cuppa. So you'd say, like, can I have a cuppa? Yeah, do you want a cuppa? Some as well, yes. Why do you pronounce the v in of? Drink some of the... because you can pronounce it. So with some of the, you can say drink some of the water, or you can say drink some of the water. You can cut the v if you want. It's not important. We tend to cut it because, as I said, where was it? Yes. So with this one, the of is the strong form. Of is weak, but is also weak, but tends to come before a consonant sound. The is a consonant sound, yeah? So it's quite normal for us to cut the v and just say the, other, some of the, drink some of the water, yeah? Quite normal to do. Any other questions? Of is a function word used to transcribe of. It depends, Sonia. As I said, it has two ways to transcribe it. You can transcribe it as of, or you can transcribe it as a. Is when there's a consonant sound after it. There are two different ways to say it. Do you speak Spanish? Yes. Yes. Any other questions? Why can't I hear negative sound in fast speech? Then you probably just need to work on practicing more because it's definitely there. Can and can't are hard to tell the difference when it's connected speech. I wouldn't say this is to do with connected speech, Andres. I would say that this is to do with stress and recognizing vowel length. So you've got can. If you pronounce can in a sentence in the strong form, let's say I can go, yeah? Maybe you mishear me and I say, no, I said I can go. Then you know I'm saying can, yeah? I can't go. But if I were to say it just normally, okay, without the sentence stress, with the positive can, then it would be weak, right? It would be with a schwa. I would say, I can go. I can go. I can go. I can go. I can't go. So you notice here that when I just speak normally and I use can, it's very weak. You can actually hardly hear it because the focus is not on the can. The focus is on the go, right? The focus is on the verb, not the modal verb. But on the negatives, we put the stress. So really listen for that. How can we cut off the consonants in fast speech? I talked about that in the previous workshop. Can you please go and watch that one? How do you read well, you would never say some of other water. You would never say that sentence, so don't worry about it. Don't worry about trying to say sentences that are not even grammatically correct and that you're never ever going to use in your life. You're never ever going to say that, so don't even worry about it. I can hear rather peculiar pronunciation of the oo in goose. Goose? Well, it's not goose. Goo. Oo. Yeah? Ooh. Keep the tongue flat, yeah? Mouth round, tongue flat. Ooh. goose. Goose and the golden egg. Yeah, with the f as well can be found in dictionaries. So with of, yeah, it can be found as like of, but usually it's with the v, yeah. If it's the weak form, you might see it as like of. Let me grab this one here. So going back to of, well, that's really big. Never mind. I don't think you can see it. Yes, you can. So like with of, yeah. If you say, for example, of and off, this one tends to be off. Yeah, while this one will be of. These are the strong forms, yeah? Strong, strong, right? These will be the strong ones. Of, yeah? This will be the weak of. Or This would be the weak of. Yeah, makes sense? So these two are two different ones. Yeah? Hopefully that makes sense. I don't want to dedicate a whole lesson to the word of. It's not that important. Don't worry about it. But yes. Which one to use in relation with the consonant in the next word? Which weak form to use? I'm not sure what you mean. There should only be one weak form of words. As I said, if it's one like of, I don't know why everyone's so obsessed with this word of. It's not that important. Don't worry about it. We just say of or And as I said, of is the weak form. Tends to be when the next word has a consonant sound. This one can be when there is a vowel or a consonant sound. Yeah? This would be for of. Yeah? Do not get too hung up on this. Like, the word of is not that important, right? You're focusing on the wrong things here. Focus on this as a whole, right? Don't focus on this as like one thing, just one word, okay? Sometimes we can become like too fixated on things that are not super significant when we should be looking at the thing as a whole. Don't worry about it. Can you explain why we silenced the H in he and his in the previous workshop? Because it's not important. You know, if we go back to this, pronouns are not important, right? So, because they're not important, we can cut some sounds. So, is usually one of the sounds that goes. If is at the start of a word, we'll cut it off. If it's in a weak word. So, for example, like he, him, her, his, etc. We can cut them. So he becomes e. Yeah. If I say, for example, he left early, I could say he left early. I went with him. I went with him. I went with her. I went with her. This is his. This is his. Yeah. So we can cut the H's in these ones. They're not important. Yeah. Same with hers as well. I miss hers. Yeah. This is hers. This is hers. You can cut it. Some accents tend to cut them a lot more than others, but it's quite normal in just normal speech to cut them. Them as well. Yeah, we cut to with them. I was with them yesterday. So I was with them. Anyway, I'm going to leave questions until the end right now because I really want to focus on this text. So what I've done is I've highlighted the key words here. I'm just going to make my face a little bit bigger. And then you can see my face. Not that I'm super egotistic, but just so you can see for pronunciation. So we're just going to focus on this part here, okay? Any questions you have, I'll answer them at the end of the stream, but I really, really just want to get through this text. And we're just going to have a look at the first paragraph together, okay? So what I'm going to do is read through this natural speed. And what you can see is I very kindly highlighted where the stress would be. So all of these, there are a few missing. Give me a second. Oh, I just saw one. Yes, this one is stressed. The L as well. And I think that should be it. Yes. Okay, so I'll read through it. And then I'd like you to really listen to how I stress the words that are highlighted. Okay? Once upon a time, a farmer and his wife lived on a farm in the beautiful countryside. They owned a goose who laid a single golden egg every single day. The farmer took the egg every day to the market in town to sell. The money which they made from the egg supported them, and over time they were able to make a lot of money and become fairly rich. So you can see every time I landed on one of the highlighted bits of the word, my intonation went up and it was clearer, right? I pronounced that syllable a lot clearer and the word in general a lot clearer. Once upon a time. There you see? Once upon a time. A farmer and his wife. So you see with this one, we're cutting this one, yeah? Because his is a pronoun, we can cut the H at the beginning, yeah? This also happens, so I mentioned it with pronouns, but you can use it for relative pronouns as well. So ones like who, right? I could say, this is the man who did it, for example. Yeah, if I say this is the man who did it, as a relative pronoun, I can cut the H at the beginning here, and I can just say this is the man who did it. Yeah. If it's who as a question, who did it, for example, now who is important because it's our question word. Now it's a content word, yeah? It's not a little grammatical word, because if I remove the who here and I just said, did it? You'd be like, what? Who did what? Who what? It makes no sense. But if I say, this is the man did it, it's wrong, right? It sounds weird, but you understand what I'm saying, okay? And that's because it's just not important. So here, once upon a time, a farmer and his wife lived on a farm. Farm in the beautiful countryside. In the beautiful countryside. Yeah? So notice the stress I'm using with countryside. They owned a goose. A goose who laid a single egg. A single golden egg. A goose who laid a single golden egg. A single golden egg. A single golden egg. A single golden egg. Every single day. They owned a goose who laid a single golden egg every single day. Notice the stress? Yeah? A goose who laid, yeah? They owned, we're going to link that with the yeah. Talked about that yesterday. Yeah? They owned a goose who laid a single golden egg every single day. The farmer took the egg. So here we're linking with a r. Forgot to mention that. The farmer took the egg. Linking with a yeah. The farmer took the egg. Not took the egg. Took the egg every day. Notice as well, I'm not saying every day. Every day. Every day to the market. Not every day to the market. Yeah, stress. Stress. Yeah. Every day to the market. Day to the market. Market in town. Not market in town. Market in town. Town to sell. Not town to sell. Yeah? Every day to the market in town to sell. Not too strong. Every day to the market in town to sell. The money which they made. The money which they made. Made from the egg. Made from the egg. Linking here again with the ya. The money which they made from the egg. The egg supported them. The egg supported them. And over time. And over time. So not and over time. And over time. They were able. They were able. It's a very straight line. And they were able. And over time they were able. And over time they were able. Not, and over time they were able. And over time they were able. They were able to make. They were able to make. Make a lot of money. Make a lot of money. So notice again, I'm not saying make a lot of money. Definitely not money. I hear money a lot, yeah? But money, money, money. Yeah? With the dot at the top, yeah? Able to make a lot of money. Able to make a lot of money. And become fairly rich. And become. So with become, the stress goes on the second part. We don't say become and become fairly rich. No? But and become fairly rich. And over time they were able to make a lot of money and become fairly rich. Once more, I'm going to read through it all, okay? Once upon a time, a farmer and his wife lived on a farm in the beautiful countryside. They owned a goose who laid a single golden egg every single day. The farmer took the egg every day to the market in town to sell. The money which they made from the egg supported them, and over time they were able to make a lot of money and become fairly rich. Yeah, so all of these I stressed. I think I still pronounce the H in who, but that's simply because I do that. So yeah, hopefully that is a lot clearer. So any questions? Any questions? English is not melodic. English has a very particular rhythm. I disagree. English definitely has a rhythm. Why do we stress lot? Because we have a particle. Yes. An article, sorry. Particle, I'm thinking Japanese. We have an article and then lot. Yeah. A lot of. It's important, right? It's important. More melody is needed. Yeah, you don't want to be like, once upon a time. You don't want to be like singing it. But yeah. So your intonation as well needs to go up on those stressed words, those stressed syllables. This is good stuff. Thanks, Alan. Happy New Year. So any questions? Any questions? We should kill the schwa sound because it's the only reason I disagree. I 100% disagree. Because if you killed the schwa sound, then you would be making English so much more difficult for yourself. English is a very relaxed language. Yeah? That's like me saying about your language, oh, we should take away this vowel. No, why? Why are you trying to change it? This is good stuff, but by no means easy for foreigners. Yeah. This would be so much easier if it were taught from the beginning, but it's not. People focus on grammar and vocabulary. If you were taught this stuff from the very beginning, when you started learning English, it would make things so much easier, wouldn't it? Yeah, so lot of becomes loadser, but loadser is different. Yeah, so a lot of, you can say loads of, but loads of can also be said like loadser. Yeah. So it's a different word. Do stress determiners? We can. I think usually they are. Usually they're stress their determiners. This cat. I'd like this cat, please. I'd like this cat. Yeah. Though we could also be unstressed, thinking about it. Depends how important it is. The yep before egg. Good advice. Yes. I talked about connected speech. please explain the linking, yeah? I explained that in the workshop from yesterday, so please go and check that one out. Should we include WH questions in the list of stress words? Yes. Anything important that carries meaning goes in the stressed section. How to sound normal in sentence with a lot of stress words. Ooh, kind of hard to do. You're not going to get a sentence in English where nearly every single word is stressed. This one here is actually quite a tricky one for me to do as a native speaker of English, because it's like stress. So my poor English brain is like, oh, thank God that there's a schwa and a schwa and a schwa and a schwa and a schwa. Yeah? So someone earlier was saying, we need to remove the schwa, right? No, because if we remove the schwa, it would be very, very difficult to pronounce. Laid a single golden egg every single day. It's really hard to say when it's all strong. It's really hard. This is why when you hear, for example, English people speaking Spanish, where every single vowel is strong, it's a lot of effort. When I speak Spanish, honestly, my mouth hurts. And I've been speaking it for nearly 10 years because I'm not used to this stress. Stress foul. Yeah? I need to add like a schwa in there to give myself a break. Yeah? About the intonation. So in this case, just to keep the intonation explanation simple, every time a word is stressed, our intonation goes up. So once upon a time. So you see, I hummed that part, and every time it was a stress word, okay, I hummed it, and you can see that my intonation goes up every single time. And then at the end, to keep it simple, the intonation just goes down. Yeah, so it'll go to the market in town to sell. So it will go up and then it will glide down. Yeah, sell, day, countryside. Countryside's a bit different because you've got more syllables to play with. So kun will go up, and then tree side will go down. Countryside. And then day, sell, rich. They will go down. Yeah? They'll like glide down. Support them. This goes down as well. Yeah? All are the same. You're loving the schwas. You've got to. Yeah? Because they make it so much easier to pronounce English. Do you use weak forms in your daily life? 100%. Jesus, yes. If I spoke using only strong forms, I would sound like this. Okay? I'm going to read the same text, but only in the strong forms, right? Once upon a time, a farmer and his wife lived on a farm in the beautiful countryside. They owned a goose who laid a single golden egg every single day. The farmer took the egg every day to the market in town to sell. The money which they made from the egg supported them, and over time they were able to make a lot of money and become fairly rich. If I stressed every word, that's how it would sound. You see how it sounds very robotic? Yeah? Sounds very, very robotic. And that's because we need the stress there. Yes. Stress is a shortcut. It is. Yeah, it is Sonia. 100% agree. So the way you pronounce who is like pronouncing oo and not oo. It depends. You can cut it to like oo, or you can say like a goose who laid, or a goose who laid. It doesn't matter. You can say the goose who. It doesn't matter. Don't worry. A robot speaking. I feel like a Siri, like once upon a time, a farmer and his wife. Like, I am a robot. That's how I feel. But yeah, so that's that. Let me shrink down my face a little bit more. If you have any questions, then feel free to ask. It sounds like a GPS. As it was said before, a Google Map voice. And you see what happens? You end up sounding like a machine. It sounds very odd. But yes. No other questions? No other questions? Good. That becomes hard for me because of my language Persian. Though I think Persian, hold on. Give me a second. I'm sure Persian was I think Persian's a stress time language. Give me a second. The two languages, English and Persian, described, but Persian is classified as syllable timed. No, Persian is syllable timed. Sorry. Syllable timed. Persian is syllable timed. Persian is syllable timed. Okay. The beautiful. Yeah, I would say the beautiful. Yeah, the beautiful. Can you say something in Spanish with an English accent? Hola. Hola, Inés. Inés Paraud. That's how it would sound. Hola, me llamo Emma. Y soy de Inglaterra. Yo tengo... Oh, it makes me cringe. It's like nails on a chalkboard. Yo tengo 29 años y quiero aprender español para hablar con mi novio. That's how it would sound. It sounds terrible. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't speak that way. If I was speaking Spanish, I'd be like, hola, me llamo Emma. Soy de Inglaterra. Yeah. Why am I happy? How to pronounce it? Why am I so happy? Why am I so happy? There you go. So hard to use whenever you speak. It can be. Yeah. I still speak as a robot. With practice, it gets easier. Anyway, we are going to very quickly finish, before we finish this live stream, I just want to talk one final time about Pronunciation Pro, because I get loads and loads of questions, and I'm not going to answer them all because I get freaking hundreds of questions a day. I get emails, I get messages, I get comments. So yes, I'm not going to answer any more questions in the stream now unless it's about Pronunciation Pro, because there are way too many. But yes, I would like to talk about the Pronunciation Pro membership site. If you are serious about improving your pronunciation, if you would like to ask me more questions, you can email me at any time if you are a member of Pronunciation Pro. If you're not, then it's if I reply or not. But members of Pronunciation Pro always get an answer. They're fully supported. So, Pronunciation Pro, what does it do? What are its aims? Well, its aims are to help you speak more clearly and confidently. That is the main goal. English sounds are much easier to pronounce for you. No more embarrassing or silly mistakes. No more subtitles and asking people to repeat. No more, oh no, they speak too fast for me. You will learn how to cut sounds, how to cut words. You will learn more about connected speech and the different types of connected speech. You will have an abundance of practice materials to practice everything we have gone through in the past 3 workshops this week, okay? So as I mentioned, the goose and the golden egg, as well as what was the other story? The Fox and the Hound. That's another story. The other story we looked at yesterday, the Hare and the Tortoise. They are both on the course with 2 different recordings, full phonetic transcriptions, and you can listen to those recordings at normal speed and slow speed. Okay, so you can practice and shadow. It is the best pronunciation technique. There'll be no more getting tongue-tied and frustrated, and no more wasting time. So everything is a step-by-step structure on the course. You can get started instantly and get feedback from your first day. So I really, really focus on giving feedback. It is one thing that I really, really, really stress on the course. So if you become a member of Pronunciation Pro, then you want to know what your membership includes, right? So overall, your membership includes instant access to over 100 pronunciation lessons, and new lessons are added every single month. So new units are added, new lessons are added, and I respond to students' feedback. So if there's something on the course that you want to know and there isn't a lesson about it, then I add it to my list, and then I will add it to the course in the future. If I know it's going to take a while to be added to the course, then don't worry, because you can also have a monthly one-to-one session with me. So it's basically like a private lesson, but you come to me with any questions or something that you want to practice, and we'll practice together for 15 minutes, one-on-one, in private, over Zoom, and we can practice whatever you want and answer any questions you have. There's also a monthly group webinar, so a lot of people are asking questions in the chat, but if you are a member of Pronunciation Pro, I'll be very, very happy to answer those questions in the monthly group webinar, and they're great to come to. You can meet other students who are part of the course as well. You can also listen to other students' questions. So they might be questions that you've never thought of before, but they're really good to hear because it gives you a different perspective on things maybe. You also get access to a private community where I plan to start bi-weekly challenges. So I'll be doing challenges every 2 weeks in there to help you practice your listening, shadowing and pronunciation. And you'll also get daily feedback on your recordings. Some people asked me, do I need to submit a recording every single day? I do not have the time to do a recording every single day. Do I need to do a recording every single day? The answer is no. You do not need to do a recording every single day, but the service is there if you want it. You can practice at the weekend. You can do 7 recordings, and then you can schedule those recordings for each one to send to me once a day for a week, something like that. So if you don't have much time to record and practice, then that is a way around it, so you ensure you get your feedback. So yes, that's that. The Christmas sale is currently on. It's been on for 2 weeks nearly. And the Christmas sale ends on Sunday. This Sunday it ends. So you've got 2 more days and it ends at midnight. So it says that it's 11:59 p.m. I'm very specific with the time, but yeah, basically on Sunday, at 11:59 p.m. the sale will end, and if you use the code Christmas, then you will get a nice discount. So you can also join my mailing list. I have left a link for it in the description of this video and live stream if you're catching it live. Click on that. You will be able to join the mailing list and get access to a free trial. You'll get access to some free lessons on the course. There are 3 free lessons plus a little cheeky bonus. If you have seen the first and the second workshop, then you will really enjoy the bonus because it has a story in there for you to practice your shadowing. And then if you're interested in joining, make sure you do it before Sunday so you get the sale price. And that's that. So, any final questions related to the course or any final comments about Happy New Year? I'm happy to answer. Yeah, let's become a member and hang out. Yes, Atsuko is a student on the course, and she's doing amazing as well. Amazing work. I'm actually really happy with your progress, Atsuko. I'm really proud of you. Happy New Year. Thank you very much. You're welcome. No problem at all. Happy to have you here. Any other questions? I don't think so. Sorry, I'm just going back through the chat. Yeah, thank you, Federica. Thank you very much. I don't think there were any others. No, fantastic. Good. No, sorry, just making sure there were no more questions before I finished about the course or anything. So if you're interested in joining, or if you'd like some free pronunciation lessons, or if you'd like some recordings for the previous 2 workshops to practice your pronunciation, they're completely free. Go and check them out. Join my mailing list. I will start sending some free goodies once a month. And yes, that's that. Enjoy your New Year's Eve. Enjoy your New Year's Day tomorrow. I'm gonna have to go and start preparing for my New Year's meal. As my boyfriend is Spanish, I need to go and wash some grapes. I don't know if many of you have that tradition. We don't have the grape tradition in the UK, but in Spain they eat 12 grapes at midnight, so I need to go get some grapes and wash them and get them ready. But yeah, otherwise, enjoy your new year. I will see you all in 2022. And I also just want to say a final word that I really, really appreciate you for being here. And I really, really enjoy teaching. I really enjoy doing live streams. I really enjoy what I do. And I feel so privileged and so happy that you have joined today. And yes, I just hope that I can continue to help you in 2022. And I'll be posting an update video very soon on things that have been going on in my life and things that have been happening and things that are going to happen in 2022 that are going to very, very greatly affect me and my life and maybe you. So yes, thank you very much and have an amazing new year. Bye bye.